Meanwhile, Putin has embarrassed himself again. Well, Putin generally confuses import and export. He suddenly claimed that the EU had banned Russian toilets, but in fact, it's exactly the opposite. The EU actually banned not Russian toilets, but the export of toilets to Russia. Once again, Putin got confused about toilets, as well as the concepts of export and import. In some mysterious, twisted hallucinations, the patient imagines a triumphant march of Russian plumbing called Poma. And its ban in Europe, from his point of view, is a futile attempt to prohibit the great Russian toilet culture. Well, in the mind of the Kremlin ghoul, of course, some astonishing processes are taking place. But that can be forgiven. It can be forgiven because he spends all his energy on planning mass murders, robberies, and repression. And it's clear that he aspires to an extremely prominent, one might even say dazzling role in history. At the very least, on par with Peter the Great, Ivan the Terrible, and Stalin. But Putin will go down in history as a citizen of the toilet, as a toilet man into whom all the hopes, all the opportunities, and the entire future of his country, Russia, were flushed away. Well, Putin has become inextricably linked with the toilet and suitcase theme, and that's not surprising. There have been all sorts of things in Russian history, but never before has such a piece of crap been at the head of the country. And there would be nothing terrible about this if only Russians hadn't squealed with joy and started to worship this toilet man en masse. In any other country, a nabob who had done nothing but stupid things, piling one crime on top of another, talentless, ignorant, brazen, and sick, would have been overthrown within a day. And even the security guards would help the orderlies pack the miserable dictators into straitjackets and would hand over syringes filled with haloperidol. But Russia turned out to be that enchanted dead kingdom where it is precisely these qualities in a person that inspire delight and adoration. Of course, there's propaganda, but you can't blame everything on it alone. Yes, Putin slowly seeped into the throne, into reality, into the national consciousness. And his illness, it too did not become apparent right away. It developed from tiny symptoms that everyone just waved off as eccentricity, as posturing. But nevertheless, to be precise and honest, he received the people's greatest love. Putin still earned it when he finally became a maniac and a ghoul. Because it is precisely this type of power that is most beloved by Russians. But that's already, well, a common observation. Hatred of freedom, of rights, of law, of thought has settled in them forever. And no one will ever be able to eradicate this hatred.